What's up, guys? It's J Pro back for another round of Reflex Bag Workouts. Let's go! We've got a brand new workout with a new format coming at you today. But before we jump into all that, a quick update. If you've done any of these workouts before, if you've seen my Instagram, or if you saw my review for the top 5 reflex bags of 2022, you've probably heard me talk about Fierce Reflex. They are the best in the business, and I'm thrilled to announce that I will be joining the Fierce family as an official brand rep for Fierce Reflex. I am super excited. It's a big moment for me personally, but it also means that for anyone who's considering upgrading their bag to the Fierce Reflex, they have a knockout selection. You can now get a discount. You use the code JPROJABS and you receive a nice little discount for the best bag in the business. I've seen people comment. I know there's questions considering, is it worth it? I feel like fitness and wellness is one area where you want to invest a little bit more because it's just going to have you that much more excited to get up every day and do these boxing workouts and also take your skill and your fitness to the highest level possible. So that's the big news. Now let's make sure your area is cleared out. You don't need your gloves on yet. We're going to jump into a warm-up in 10 seconds.
You look good in the summertime. Them tan lines on you make me want to run and gun.
So if you were curious, today we have a 4-round workout for boxing technique. And we have an interesting way that we're going to go about these 4 rounds. But first, we're going to go right into those arm circles going backwards. Nice wide arm circles. Sorry if this is repetitive, but it's all about flexibility. Boxing, we really want to make sure that we're taking the time to stretch. We can reverse directions here.
I swear we belong. I'm still hanging on, but something brings me back to you.
Okay, now let's open up the hips with some alternating leg circles for 30 seconds. Nice wide range of motion. We don't need to go too fast here. We want to open up those hips. If we hear any popping or crackling, and we're not making popcorn in the background, that's a sign that our hips might be a little tight. We really want to make sure that we spend some time to open those hips up. That's where all of our power is going to come from. Now we're going to go right into a torso twist, pivoting on the balls of our feet. Now let's go ahead and let's open those up. Okay, now we're gonna go right into jumping jacks at full extension here. Wanna get that heart rate up. It can't be a warm up if you don't feel warm going into the first round. We can't just stretch. We gotta get the cardio going. Nice and long, full extension. We jump and jack like we punch. All right, for 1 minute, don't start shadow boxing yet because we're gonna do a little different drill here. On your floor, I want you to visualize 4 squares. You're gonna start in the back left. We're gonna do a little footwork drill. So we're gonna go up, then over to the right, then back, and then to the left. Those are the 4 squares. This is a great way to practice your balance and your footwork. Notice the direction that you're going is the foot that moves first. One of the golden rules in boxing training is you don't want to cross over your feet. Why? Because you want to stay, starts with a B, balanced. So keep going here. Now reverse direction. And time. We're gonna try to mix up those drills, moving forward, practicing footwork. And today we're getting into some technique. So grab a quick sip of water, throw those gloves on, get your bag ready. If you don't have a fierce flex yet, you need to hit me up and we need to make that happen. So grab those gloves. We're gonna jump into round 1 in 1 minute. Hey. Okay, so we got those gloves on. We're getting ready for round 1. You already know if you own a Reflex or a Cobra bag, one of the biggest benefits of this tool is the versatility. Before this bag was invented, a traditional boxer would use all different tools to develop their technique. They'd go to a gym, maybe you work the heavy bag to practice your striking, you work with a coach to practice your defense, maybe you'll jump on the double end bag to practice your rhythm and your timing, and all of a sudden this thing was born and you can do all in one. But the challenge is if you're training by yourself, if you're alone, going up to this thing and hitting it, how do I train? How long do I train for? What should I be working on at a time? So that's really what I want to do with this workout, is I want to give you some structure to develop your technique. Every round, we're going to work on a different form of boxing technique. So whether you're an amateur boxer like myself, or you just want to train like a fighter, this should give you a really interesting perspective. So for round 1, we're going to work on our slips. And for the first 30 seconds, we're going to go right up to our bag, and we're just gonna slip lead and then slip rear. Slip lead, slip rear. Right in place. So I'm not moving my feet. No footwork here. Slip lead, slip rear. I'm using the bag itself as the center line. I slip lead off the center, then slip rear. Okay, now we're gonna go really simple for the next 30 seconds to a 1 slip lead. So land that 1 slip, 1 slip. This might not feel as natural as maybe slipping rear, but that's why we want to practice. Okay, next 30 seconds we're going to work on that 1 slip rear. The idea being here that we want to be comfortable at any point in time, going in any direction, throwing any punch. All right, now we're going to put those two together for the next 30 seconds. We're going to do a 1 slip lead, 1 slip rear. Find your own rhythm here. The advanced way would be doing it all in one swing. That's the Ryan Garcia. Shout out to Fierce Flex. If you're not there yet, you just slow it down. Now we're gonna add a 1-1-2. So the combination is gonna be a 1 slip lead, 1 slip rear, 1-1-2. Nice and slow. "30 seconds left here. If you want to add a little footwork, you can, but sometimes when you're getting into the technique, it's nice to just stay planted. When we're doing more tricky technique like today, you see I'm not moving around a lot, it makes it harder. So just to drill the technique, we can work the same angle every time. That's gonna help us to get the timing down. Now if you're advanced and you wanna move around and come in at different angles, you can. And time. That's round 1 of the slips, dedicated to Jeremy, who's been a beast, an early subscriber, definitely a member of Team J Pro Jabs, said he loves the slips. So Jeremy, I hope you enjoyed that round. Now let's all get a sip of water. We jump into round 2 in 1 minute. All right, so we did a little bit of footwork in the warm-up. Round 1 was all about the slips. Round 2, we're gonna focus on the rolls. Big thing to remember with the rolls in boxing is that you want to roll with your legs. You don't want to roll with your lower back, kind of putting your head on a platter towards your opponent. So you want to just have a nice comfortable stance, bend the knees, and roll under those strikes. We're going to get a lot of practice with those rolls in round 2. And remember, any of these different drills that we're doing, you can do them at any time. So 4 rounds isn't enough. You want to keep working at it. It's always nice to break up your rounds with different techniques and different combinations. So we did some slips, we did some rolls. Now we're gonna do some combos with some rolls. In 10 seconds, we're gonna open up the same way as round 1, where we did the slip, slip. Now we're gonna use our bag as the center line, and we're gonna roll lead, and then roll rear. Roll lead, and then roll rear. If you're really curious about proper technique, your chin is tucked, and you're keeping an eye on that bag. So you never want to be blind. You don't want to be looking at the floor. You want to roll with your legs and keep your eyes forward towards your opponent. 30 seconds of that roll lead, roll rear. Lead, rear. Okay, let's go to that first combo. It's going to be a 1-2, roll rear. 1-2, roll rear. Again, I'm not doing a lot of footwork here. A lot of people here are newer, and we know how hard it is to time it with the reflex bag, and doing footwork coming in at different angles is a lot harder. So I'd recommend just being right in place. 1-2, roll rear. Now we're gonna add a roll lead at the end. So the combo is gonna be a 1-2, roll rear, roll lead. Remember, it's not a drastic movement. It's nice and subtle and easy. 1-2, roll rear, roll lead. Okay, 30 seconds, little active recovery. We're gonna go right to a boxer bounce. So nice and light on the balls of your feet, shifting our weight from lead to rear. You wanna stop, throw a couple rolls, throw some slips, you can, and right back into that boxer bounce. Let's go. I'm right there with you. All right, last minute of the round. Here we go. It's gonna be a 1-2, roll rear, roll lead, 3. This is tricky, so just take your time. And what do I say about missing? It is not okay to miss. No, I'm just kidding. We encourage missing. If you miss, you just stay balanced. That's what this is for. So it's a 1-2, roll rear, roll lead, and then 3. 30 seconds here. This is tricky. This is not easy stuff. Important thing is you just stay patient, you stay calm, you keep working at it, and it'll come. And time. That's it for round 2. We're halfway. Grab a sip of water. We get into round 3. On to our next technique in 1 minute. Let's go. All right, how are we feeling about our technique going into the second half? So getting ready for round 3. We got the slips covered. We worked some rolls. Now we're gonna enter some blocks into the mix. Now blocks are pretty self-explanatory, right? You're blocking the strike. But there's some subtle things to think about when you're working on your technique and you're simulating blocking a punch. So I work with a lot of beginners, people who have never done any types of boxing, and the instinct is usually to go like this. We don't want to block with our arms up like that because it leaves our body open, and then our opponent can then feint and set us up and hit us to the body, which in my opinion hurts worse than getting hit to the head. So when you block, your hands are in guard, Your elbows are in to protect your body. You're nice and relaxed. You're just slightly raising your hand to absorb the strike, and you think about it almost like a catcher's mitt. So for 30 seconds, let's freestyle a little bit and let's work some blocks. Now, you think about like in baseball, I'm like catching. I don't want to meet the punch too far out because then I stay open. So I want to keep everything in close and in tight and catch those strikes. Now we're going to work a 1-2 block. Now I also want to mention here, depending on your bag, you might not feel comfortable with that bag. It doesn't have to actually hit your gloves. If you want, you can just simulate the 1-2 block. 1-2 block. But if you really want to get that feeling, you throw that 2 nice and hard so you can absorb that block. We're going to keep going here for 30 seconds of that 1-2 block. It should be your rear hand that's blocking off the 2. In a real world scenario, it can be anything, but using the reflex bag, it makes sense to use the 2 because that's where you're going to be open. When I'm throwing a 2, I'm open here, so I want to block with that same hand. Okay, now we're going to go right back to that boxer bounce for 30 seconds. We were a little late there, so we're actually going to be here for 5 seconds, and then we're going to add to that combo. So it's going to be a 1-2 block hook. So here's the deal. I want you to throw the hook off of the same side that you block. So if you're moving around and you do a 1-2 block with your lead hand, then throw the 3. If you're doing a 1-2 block with your rear, throw the 4. Same hand, so you block and return. 1-2 block, return. 1-2 block, return. 30 seconds. Now again, this doesn't have to be perfectly choreographed. You don't have to get it right every time. You just want to start to simulate that block and then returning fire with a hook. And time. That's it. We go to the 4th and final round in 1 minute. All right, this is it, the championship round. This is where we're going to put it all together. Now we're going to do it build-up style. So we're going to work our way up to a combination that features all of the techniques that we drilled in this workout. Pretty cool stuff. And while we're waiting to get into that, I'm going to remind you again, and I know I'm repetitive, I know I'm a broken record, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyways. Hitting a moving target is incredibly difficult. This is a high difficulty level activity that we're doing, boxing with a moving target. I talked about joining the Fierce Flex team. You may or not know this, the person that designed this bag, the founder, the owner of the company is Coach Henry Garcia. He's a professional boxing coach. He built it for his son, Ryan Garcia, who is a lightweight boxing superstar. So it's made for professional boxers. You might not be a professional boxer, but you can take pride in the fact that you're training like one. And so if it doesn't feel right, the timing is off, you stick with it, and it will all come together with time. We're gonna open up this round with a 1-2 slip lead. It also makes developing and getting better every time, it makes it that much more satisfying when it's a high degree of difficulty. Now we're gonna add a roll rear. So the combo is gonna be a 1-2 slip lead, roll rear on the bag. 7 seconds here. All right, now we're gonna step away from that one for a second, and we're just gonna work a 2 block. Remember, we're absorbing that strike almost like a baseball glove. So, 2 block, 2 block. You don't have to let it hit your gloves. If you just want to simulate it, that's okay too. Now we're going to add another 2 off the block. So it's going to be a 2 block 2. That would be the high speed way to do it. 2 block 2. Or you slow it down and practice the technique. 2 block 2. All right, last minute, we're putting it all together. It's gonna be a 1-2, slip lead, roll rear, 2 block 2 on the back. Let's do it together. 1-2, slip, roll, 2 block 2.
Who gon' stop me now? I'm on the road, let me know. Who gon' stop me now? Who gon' stop me now? Who gon' stop me now? I'm on the road, let me know. Who gon' stop me now? Gang, gang. When the game on the line, you can't play, you can't bend. Not be playing it safe and not be going for.
Back to what I was saying before. This is tricky stuff. But you stick with it. You see I missed the block there. 2 block 2. There it is. All right, one more. And time. Nicely done. You just got through this 4-round workout dedicated to drilling boxing technique. Like I was saying before, I know this stuff isn't easy, so props to you for sticking with it, going through. It's about 1% growth every week. I drop a new workout every week. Subscribe to the channel. The goal is to feel a little bit better each and every week with your timing, your technique. We did a lot of difficult workouts. I'm sure you'll come back to this one. Don't forget to like the workout if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the workout of the week. Follow me on Instagram at jprojabs. And if you're ready for the top of the line reflex bag, check out Fierce Reflex and use code jprojabs for a discount. Thank you to all my guys who are riding with me, guys and gals, every week. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week for another workout.